Jürgen Kasek is not one to shy away from confrontation. He's come to Dresden to the far-right Pegida movement's first demonstration since the US election to speak out against xenophobia. That's needed now more than ever, he says. Donald Trump's upset victory has also given Germany's far-right new impetus. Kasek is afraid that Germany too will take a leap to the right. He tries to debate Pegida's followers the democratic way, but will they listen? This graffiti in Leipzig says, "No human being is illegal." Jürgen Kasek shares that sentiment. The 36-year-old attorney is state chairman of Saxony's Green Party. As a teenager, he took up the fight against the right-wingers. Since Pegida began marching, he's been tireless in his opposition.
Basically, what Pegida and all the movements they've spawned have done is to stretch the qualifications for debate to the point where there are no longer any limits to inclusion. Now we've got National Party members on stage, people with records for assault and battery, carrying the imperial war flag and holding speeches in Nazi propaganda minister Goebbels style. And people are standing next to them saying, "We're concerned citizens."
Kasek was raised by left-wing parents, but it was his girlfriend who got him involved in politics.
That was my first girlfriend. She gave me my first patch. It was the size of a fist, shaped like a stop sign, and had a swastika crossed out. I stuck it onto my backpack, and the moment it was on there, my way of seeing certain things changed. Simply because the way other people saw me had changed.
Kasek was 18 when he took part in his first demonstration. Right-wing populists are especially active in his home state of Saxony.
What's happening out there just scares me because it poses a certain danger to everything I believe in. Just take a look at England after the Brexit vote, and America after Trump's win. Both times, there was a wave of racist violence. They think, now we've won, and now we're going to show you.
For examples, Kasek need look no further than his own Facebook page.
Someone commented, "A toast to Trump." That's acceptable. But this one's pretty blatant. When we come to power, you'll be on trial the next day and hanging after that.
Such infuriating and revealing comments motivate Kasek to continue his work. As an attorney, he takes hundreds of cases per year. Sometimes he represents clients free of charge. One young man from left-wing circles faces charges for his role in an anti-Pegida demonstration that turned violent. His trial is coming up. He chose to remain anonymous.
Why were you on the streets that day?
To demonstrate against Pegida. They said right off, yeah, that's him.
The file only contains pictures, and you can't tell very much from them. As I said, the judge will examine you. Then the prosecutor can ask questions, and I can too. What's also important here is your appearance. Do you have any good clothes you can wear?
Yeah, black pants and so on.
Jürgen Kasek considers himself an idealist. His determination provokes controversy, even within his own party, the Greens. But he's not too bothered about that. Now he's headed back to Dresden to support an anti-Pegida demonstration. It's an hour and a half by regional train.
The tension's rising, because I'm not the type to plan ahead when I go off somewhere. I have a general idea what'll happen. I always say I like jazz, because it's skill and improvisation. And in much the same way, I know what can happen and what possibilities I've got when I go somewhere. But I don't know what in particular will happen or when.
Nächster Halt.
Traveling by train gives me an opportunity to catch up on the news, see if anyone's been in touch, and maybe calm down a bit so I arrive relaxed. Maybe listen to some music on the way.
The music is by his own band. Kasek stays alert. Only a few days before, he was attacked in a regional train. Hooligans recognized him and started abusing him, verbally at first. Then one of them threw a bottle. The police arrived in time to prevent worse.
At that moment, you're thinking, what happens if they pull the emergency brake? Or if more are waiting for us in Leipzig? What then? It's a terrible feeling. When you're back home, you start wondering, what the hell am I doing?
Kasek arrives in Dresden and joins about 200 others in the counter-demonstration.
Hi, how you doing? Where's the first rally today?
In 500 meters, they'll run into the Pegida march. The mood is tense, but Jürgen Kasek doesn't seem worried. He's done this many times before. It's almost routine. The left-wing demonstrators chant, "Pegida, racist crew, you make us want to spew." The chants are designed to provoke the right-wingers and get bystanders on board. Jürgen Kasek touches base with the police.
Later, Pegida will pass by over there and then turn. So there really is a potential for confrontation, and we'll have to watch out for it.
The election of Donald Trump as the new US president has given a boost to right-wing populist movements. The signs read, "We're fed up with Merkel and Islam." The Pegida demonstrators shout their usual slogans like resistance and the press lies. And then comes Kasek, get out. They're well acquainted with Kasek. Security has to step in to keep the enraged right-wing demonstrators away from him. It starts with verbal abuse. Then someone throws a water bottle. There's no chance for a dialogue.
You're just here to provoke, that's all. And so the press will say, look here what Pegida was up to.
It certainly isn't the first time Kasek's been accused of deliberate provocations. He himself admits that he sometimes overshoots the mark.
Every now and again, I myself might say something very insulting at a demonstration. And when I do, and I realize it later on, I hope I'll be able to ask myself, what was I really doing there? Of course, I have my convictions, and I demonstrate for them too. But do I have to reel off curse words one after another?
Finally, he manages to engage a Pegida follower. In the end, it's not about Frau Merkel. It's about the policies being made. And those policies no longer reflect the needs and will and mind of the people they're supposed to represent.
A criticism of the system that says there's been some alienation between politics and the people. I'd even go along with that. But saying Merkel has to go is not offering a constructive solution. It's just taking to the streets and opposing. But democracy is hard work.
We have to start discussing the topic of Islam openly and without prejudice. But that's prohibited right from the start, and that upsets me. You can't even say that you're thinking about it or what you don't like without being labeled a racist.
I'm sorry, it may be that you've experienced that, but I have to tell you, thinking you're not allowed to say anything without being labeled a racist, that's playing the victim.
The Pegida demonstrators describe themselves as fighters against the establishment, a formula that seems to have worked for Donald Trump. And Jürgen Kasek says that can serve as a warning to Germany.
Each individual faces the question, what kind of society do they want to live in? Everyone has to ask that, especially after what's happened in America. Otherwise, you might wake up one day and find this isn't the society you want to live in. I'll say it very clearly. Form an opinion, accept it, and stand behind it confidently.
After the demonstration, Kasek gets together with friends to wind down. Next week at the latest, they'll be meeting again to confront the right-wingers.
We head off somewhere to support the counter-demonstrations. There are lots of people who are extremely grateful to us for that. And just to experience that gratitude and come back knowing there are people there who said thanks for supporting us, thanks for not forgetting us, that gratitude really means so much. And it can give us an incredible boost of energy.
Jürgen Kasek admits it may partly be an ego boost. But he also considers his little daughter. He wants her to grow up in a Germany where right-wing populists don't call the shots.
Und du bist schuld. Fällt mir gerade so spontan ein. Ich habe noch mal die Bilder ausgewertet.